Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Just Gaming Today. Today, we're going to take a look at a game called Talented. Wave of Shadows is a DLC that was added onto the game after the fact. The game has been very, very well supported by the developer or developers. I think there's a few people that developed this. It's a very basic tower defense game in the beginning, and then it has a massive kind of progression tree. It has roguelike elements. In that, after each wave, you get certain currencies to spend, and the roguelike is this large tree that you invest into is kind of random and lets you jump around and stuff. You'll see as we go along. I have played this game before. I did go ahead and reset my progression. So the games that are the place where if you had purchased the Talented game and then also purchased this Wave of Shadows. Um, there are tons and tons and tons of challenges. There are things to get through and things to work towards in the game. So it can keep you busy for quite a bit. It seems very simple at the beginning. It is a simple process, but it's got all these layers of complexity, which is quite fun. There are lots of different characters when you start the game. You start with the archer, and then you have these locked characters here. So I think the ninja starts on lock too when you buy Wave of Shadows. Now, when I first purchased the game, the ninja didn't exist, as well as several of the other characters. They were still being developed. But it looks like you can start with the ninja as well. We're going to go classic and start with the archer. So the idea is, at least in the standard game that I purchased in at the start. I'm not sure what these waves in standard is here. I have to kind of take a look at that. But essentially, you're an archer. You're in the middle of this kind of conveyor belt. It looks like a big plus sign. You'll see that once we start it. And you have enemies coming from four different directions. And you have to defend yourself from those enemies and not die. There is some dying involved. You're certainly going to have to accumulate the currency to spend in towards your class and stuff and complete certain levels and whatnot. And that opens up more of the game, which we'll see here as well. So, but the idea of the archer is he fires long-ranged arrows at great speed, but has a low defensive capabilities. He has an ability called charges. Abilities has limited charges. Charges replenish at the end of each night. You'll see how those kind of work out as well. Level 1, 0 mastery, so I've not done anything with this character or anything with the game as far as the game's concerned. I think we'll go with standard. I'm not really sure what the difference is here, but we'll go with it. Certain things to understand is I think you might be able to play this with a gamepad. I'm not sure. I always play with the keyboard. Basically, the keyboard to operate your character, you're going to use the arrow keys to kind of fire in whatever direction you're looking to kill a monster. And then you also get abilities that you can use, and you use like the 1 through 4 key to activate those. And you can place the abilities. I think you can move them around. It's been a while since I've played it. We'll take a look. So let's do standard and see what this throws at us. Yeah, so you can see down below, you can always check your stats. You can kind of judge your range too. You see how I'm firing off to the right there. You can check your range. So these big eyeballs kind of come at you. Now I've got a lot of people up here. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, so that number 1 power, we'll take a look at it here in between waves. I think we'll be able to look at it, but it lets me like super, fire for a bit. While I have that red background, I have my ability activated, and that lets me, get through and shoot extra fast. So a couple of things there. You saw at the end really quick, it said like 20. So as you kill things, it kind of totals the amount of things that you've killed strung together without taking damage. And that kind of gives you more experience and thus more talent points. So talent points are where we're going to spend it in this big tree we'll see here. You'll see we survived night 1. So there's a big little tracker up here that we need to get to the end to survive the whole run. So we've survived one night successfully. Yay us. Um, a couple other things while we're on this screen. So we got 3 talent points to spend on the tree that we'll see here in a second. And then enemies gain. So reinforcements. Crawley will now appear. So there's a new enemy that's going to start coming at us in addition to those big beholder type creatures and the slimes and stuff. I think they're just called slimes. So we got these crawlies to worry about. Now on our character, you'll see we've got these health markers here. That's our health. As we take damage, these will start to chunk down. So we don't really want to take damage. You have your stats down here. So if you're curious on the meta tree, you can kind of see how you're impacting your character as you run things along. I believe this is damage. This is, I think, rate of fire, your crit chance, your range. I'm not sure on this one, or this one. You have to kind of go over it and take a look at it. So let's click continue. Let's see if we can hover over these. Yeah. So damage, attack delay. So your attack speed, essentially, critical strike, range, knockback power. That's what that one was. Experience multiplier and shot count. So the reason some of these are in here is there are things that can impact each and every one of these stats within the tree. This shot count, the number of shots fired every basic attack, maximum of 10. Right now we're at 1. And then this power here, this quick fire, what I was talking about, when I have that red background, your next 7 attacks have 50% increased attack speed. You can also see that it's 10 seconds on the recharge, that little hourglass there, and it costs me 2 energy. So you build up energy throughout the run there, and you can use those powers. So now here, it says 4. I'm not sure if we're level 4 now or not. This is our experience, and maybe we'll go to level 5. So this fills up, maybe we'll be level 5. I'm don't remember that quite off the bat. But here is our tree here. So let's see. Yeah, you can use the left click to kind of hold down and move this around. And then you also see we start with the quick fire ability. So here's where we start. It's already selected. We have 3 talent points to use. Now, if you zoom out, you can see we can't see very far on this tree. So we don't have an ability to kind of take a look around at things. Things are hidden from us. However, we do have this exposed. So the blues, greens, I think there's artifact like colors like a browns and there's different colors that kind of tell you the rarity of these things. So we can work towards certain things that we have exposed. We can also see what the minor upgrades are. So let's read this one real quick and see if that's something we want to work towards. Increased crit chance after ability use. I mean, that seems okay. Not something we absolutely need, but seems like something we might want to work towards. Gain 2% critical strike chance. I mean, we have to go here, so let's take that and expose some of the tree. Now, we've exposed a green up here. Now, greens are always abilities. So if you look at it, it just says ability there. So now we can see what this one is. So Frost Trap. Place a trap dealing 100% of your attack damage, which is currently 5, and applying Frostbite to all nearby enemies on impact, a maximum of 15 traps. So as we go along, every 6 seconds, we can just lay down a trap. And the traps kind of appear near us, I believe. I'd have to see this again. Some of these abilities were in the game when I played last, and some of them weren't. So that's something we could work towards as well. And it also looks like we exposed this epic ability. So Safety Mush. You gain 0.25 knockback power and an extra life, resurrecting with 50% health points and instantly killing all enemies after death. So basically this is you get a second chance at the run if you end up dying. So kind of cool. So we could work towards that as well. At the moment, I mean, this is so close. We probably just want to go snag this. Also, some of these abilities cost extra points. So you see this one costs 1 point, 2 points. And I think this one's 2 as well. Yeah. So you have to pay attention to that. If you work towards one, you might not be able to get it if you don't have the points left. So let's look at, you gain 5% more experience. you increase your health by 5, and then we would snag this one. So I think, overall, that's probably worthwhile to work towards this. We expose a little more over here and see if we can see something. We're out of points, so I think we're good to move on. So we'll hopefully grab this one next and then probably work up towards this frost trap and then maybe see if we can get up there and grab that safety mush. One thing I found, I remember being very, very good is these damage upgrades. Just upgrading your basic damage is very powerful. So I'll probably snag that and see what's over here on our way towards the frost trap. So let's do the next night. We still only have 1 power. When the night starts, you're pretty much starting. You don't have a delay. I think you can pause the game by just hitting escape, but it doesn't, help you. You're just ready. You have to be ready to go when you start the next night. I'm gonna go ahead and speed up here. Just things are getting too close. Yeah, so I am definitely leveling up. You see, I'm at level 8 here. So this one I finished with 22 straight kills. Now I'm level 9. And you see the level ups here. 5 talent points this night. Bulk, enemies receive 10% less knockback. So it's harder for me to push enemies backwards. But knockback on this character isn't that great anyways. It's like 0.2. Some of the characters have much larger knockback and you'll actually physically see the creatures move way, way back. This character doesn't. That's okay though. So we do have 5 points. I always hide the stats here just to kind of expose more of this, this maze here. This was 1 point, so we're going to go snag that. So now we have the charmed weapon. Let's see. We did expose a little bit of this over here. I don't see any damage markers over here. I'm going to go up and grab the knockback so we get a little bit more knockback. I'm going to grab this damage. We did expose the blue here. Killing 15 enemies grants 3 bonus attack damage for 5 seconds. So every 15 enemies, we will get some additional damage. That's pretty cool. And all of the stuff can stack too. So the beauty of the game is, even though I've bought 1 charm weapon here, there's charm weapons everywhere in this. And it's kind of random how they end up showing up. So you can stack these types of things. Abilities you can only take once. You only have 4 slots. So once you get 4, you're pretty much done. Unless they put something in the game that lets you remove an ability. That wasn't in before. I'm not sure if it's in now. So let's see over here. This is range, increases attack range. We have 2 more points to spend. It looks like we might be able to go straight up to this mashup, which isn't terrible. You see it does track our ability here. We can always hover over them to see. Let's go get this frost trap if we can. So we get another knockback and another health. So you see we're getting these health bars. Each one is worth 10 hit points. Okay. We're at 0 points. Let's go to the next night. See what kind of damage we can do here. Now we did hit the ability before the end here. You see that I was still glowing red as I started. So that's something to remember. I don't always remember it. At the very end of the run, if you have the ability active, it does help to kind of use your ability and have it active at the start of the next run, especially with this particular one, because it's not time-based. It's the amount of arrows that you shoot, I believe. I'd have to go look again. I think it says on your next X attacks, you have additional speed. So we did get through that one too. 4 talent points. Enemies will now spawn 10% more frequently. So we're going to get more enemies coming at us. So with 3 points, I think we can get our frost trap. We have 1 talent point left. There's really only one way to go up here. I don't think we want to loop back around over here. But maybe we do. I don't know. Let's take a look here. I don't see any more damage exposed. This is experience up. I do like that. So we're either looking at health or range. There's a lot more things to click through to get up through here. So what I might do is, I do like this one. So it's still the same amount. 1, 2. Do I like health and crit or range and knockback? I do think I like health and crit better. Yeah, let's do the health here and get that leveled up. See, now we have 45. Now Frost Trap goes on number 2. It's essentially just takes this ability here and throws it in number 2. And I don't think we can move these around, but that's okay. You do see it takes 3 energy. It refreshes every 6 seconds, and I think it does 6 damage. So that damage is dictated by the damage that are on our stats. So as we increase our damage here, it'll also increase our Frost Trap. So it is really nice to find these damage ups. I don't think we exposed anything there. Okay, next night. And also, you can go up here and see where you're at. So we're at 4 out of 20. So let's go next night and see how we can do here. So I'm going to go ahead and lay a Frost Trap. And then every time that's active, I'm going to try my best to kind of just lay a Frost Trap. It basically lays down a defensive area around you. There are a number of these items, abilities kind of in the game. And it is pretty cool to kind of, start building that defensive perimeter. It's kind of like a Horde Night type thing. Yeah, so now we've killed 20 in a row. So see that bottom? That's going to start showing up a lot more, and you'll start to be more aware of this kill streak. So that kill streak is really important because it helps you generate a lot more experience. So the experience points are important to level up your character. The more levels you gain, the more talent points you get. So it is important to kind of get that flow going, not take any damage, and get as far as you can. So here we get 4 talent points. Here, enemies gain. Enemy waves will now contain an additional enemy. So now we're going to have even more enemies coming at us, but this is end of night 4. So now we're looking at going into night 5. We have 4 points to use here. Now the plan was to go snag this, so let's go ahead and do that. We got critical up. So now our critical chance is 4%. And then we've got Brutal Bounty. So Brutal Bounty, we did expose. We can now see that there is a line over here. So there's probably a direct route to this safety mush. We didn't really expose anything fruitful over here. If this was a damage, I'd probably try and go get it. It's not. I'm going to leave this side of the branching as is. Yeah, there's no damage exposed down here either, right? Yeah. So I'm going to start working way up here. We've got 2 points left. Let's do range up and crit chance. We expose anything good. You can kind of look at anything that's barely visible, you can take a look at. So we have 0 talent points. We did increase our crit chance again, and we increased our range a little bit. The range is kind of important on this character because they already start with a large range, and being able to shoot that much farther is advantageous. So let's take a look here. Yeah, and that did push us farther up here, so it does look like we'll get a choice of pathways to get to the safety mush. There's probably, what I found with these epics are there are typically some rares around, so you can kind of expose more and hopefully chase a rare as well. Okay, let's go next night and see how we do. So I'm going to go ahead, and I did forget to activate that ability. Yeah, and we saw that the Frost Trap over there did activate. So I'm going to throw another one up there. They seem to be placing much higher. I don't think I have any say in the placement. And I'm not fast enough as far as my... there will be some clicking here because you have to use the keyboard for this. But I don't think I have any ability to... sorry, I'm trying not to die here. Yeah, I don't think I have an ability to control exactly where the trap goes. And I forget, you start somewhere, it tells you how much energy you have, but I don't see that at the moment. Um, so 4 talent points. We survived night 5. Tatty will now appear, so another new type of enemy will start appearing. So let's continue there. We do have 5 points. We wanted to work our way towards the safety mush unless we get sidetracked by exposing new things. Move this over a little bit. So gumball collector. Enemies now have a 3% chance to drop a gumball candy when killed. Gumballs grant 2% attack speed until the end of the night. It drops from enemies and is collected after a short delay. So the gumballs will kind of lay there in the lane for a little bit and then kind of get moved towards you and you eat them. Now, getting these, items that let you to just start to snowball attack speed and whatnot as the run goes on, that's very nice. This is also especially nice when you get enemies that kind of turn into smaller enemies or generate smaller enemies. Each one has a chance to then generate this gumball. So I think that is something we do want to work towards. Looks like this is probably a very good way to go anyways. So we've got 3 points. We're going to grab that, get the gumball collector. We did expose another blue spark quiver. Your attacks have an 8% chance to fire another attack in the same direction. That's very good. Unfortunately, there's no connector over here. We'd have to come back and probably go around this way. There might be one that kind of does a bigger loop here. But for the moment, we're going to take the attack speed up. So that's going to be nice. I think that's our first attack speed up here. So it goes to 0.86. So it actually reduces it so you're firing faster and faster. 0 points. Here we got health up and the safety mush. I don't see, oh, we got a damage up over here. So this damage up's probably something that's worthwhile to go for. Even though you're spending points to get to it, that base damage is really good because it has an impact on a lot of things that the character ends up getting. So it looks like we're also level 21. Notice that here, we're at 50 hit points and we can go next night. So here I am going to go ahead and start throwing down some more frost traps. And again, I apologize for any clicking you hear, but so I did get a gumball. You saw the gumball there with the, it's like the more brightly colored, gumball looking thing that ended up dropping. I know there's coins out as well. The coins are the things that you see there. They have that slight delay, and those are really the, I think I call them coins, but they're really experience point bubbles. So as you collect those, you gain more experience points. So you'll see those. So we're level 26 now. We have 5 talent points. Dread nights now feel 5 seconds longer. So every night from this point forward, we have another 5 seconds we need to survive. That's a big deal. And these things are random. If you played this again, you would not get necessarily the same challenge every single increment here. There may be night 7 is always the one that does 5 seconds longer, but the other ones could be completely random. This level up tree here is completely random every single time. So that's really the fun of the game, is there's some RNG involved in what you get offered, and there is a lot of fun to that, in that you have all these different builds, or you have an idea for a build. There are certain ways you can start forcing things later in the game, but not at the moment. So we're going to take the health here, and then we have 4 points. So let's take the safety mush. Not exactly the best epic ability, I think, but you do get some effect just right off the bat. So you see we'll get some knockback power, and that's pretty good knockback power for us. It almost doubles our knockback power, and an extra life. So the extra life is pretty cool, if we'd end up dying. So let's grab that. You see our knockback power went up tremendously for this character. We're at 55 health from taking this one, and we have 2 more points. So let's see, by taking that one, we did manage to expose this charmed weapon, increase crit chance after ability use. And then we've got this, let's let's see, did we take that already? Charmed weapon, yeah. So the charmed weapon here, we already have that. So getting it again, it would end up stacking. So that's kind of cool. And we did expose this attack speed up, damage up. I think we're really going to go for that damage up, but let's see what else we exposed. We also exposed the blue over here. Attack speed is increased by 20% for 2 seconds after ability. So that's the attack speed version of this crit chance one. So basically use an ability, get a special bonus. Let's see, I don't see any damages up here, but that's okay. For the moment, we're going to go towards this damage and snag it. Let's see what else we expose here. So nothing really along this tree. I think this side of the tree is kind of dead, which is how this will end up working a little bit. We'll definitely snag this, and we might even snag the attack speed. Sanguine Bounty, killing 15 enemies, heals 5 health points. That's really nice. So that's something we're definitely going to prioritize. Probably get this charmed weapon and start working that way. Okay, we have 0 points. We're level 26. Next night. And then wherever, if you need, sometimes you just need to fire a shot and kind of position your character in a certain direction so you can use the ability you want. Like there, I didn't really want that guy to blow up the frost trap. But sometimes, just using the ability to just kill things is good. The frost trap, when it explodes, it does kind of freeze all of them. And again, I don't recall, you see how I don't have the frost trap ability active. I don't recall like how you generate more energy. I thought that killing the enemies end up dropping little energy packets at some point. Doesn't seem to be doing that at the moment. That's okay. You see the little rats, they have that ability to kind of dig or turn into a little cloud and they move forward and you can't hit them while they're doing that. So that's something, as each enemy starts to grow, add to the horde, you have all these different abilities that start to activate on their end, and it makes it more difficult for you. Enemies have 10% more movement speed. So now not only do we need to survive 5 more seconds, but now they're going to move faster too. We did manage to get 5 talent points. So again, the more you level up, the more these talent points are going to accumulate here. Okay. So we did say we wanted to snag this charmed weapon, which is good. And then I really, really want to do this ability here because we're probably going to start taking damage at some point. And the experience ups are good. They help you accumulate more. So we accumulate more experience, we accumulate more talent points, and gets farther into the tree. Now, by taking this one, sometimes you just expose different parts of the tree. So this is really cool. A barricade. Place a barricade for 15 seconds that deals 1 damage and knocks back all enemies that hit it. So here's another one where you're going to be placing something out into the lanes that impact monster abilities and stuff. I recall the barricade's pretty decent. It looks like we have to go up here and around to get to it, but there is a damage up along the way. So that looks to be maybe like a worthwhile path to pursue. At the moment, though, we need to get this attack speed up, and by taking that one, we expose a damage up here, which is much closer than the other one, and we expose a new green ability up here. So this is the Vortex Shrink Ray. Fire a beam of energy, applying shrink to all enemies in the direction, then duplicating them. So this one, I recall I don't like it. Maybe it's really, really good. I've used it and I didn't care for it very much. So that might not be the way I go. But we did expose damage up and a blue here. So energy collector enemies have a 3% chance to drop a battery when killed. This is what I was talking about. Like that, the battery is what ends up being used for these skills. So getting the ability to have them drop, it helps you do more of your abilities. Let's see, loot drops. Yeah, so basically that's something we definitely want to go towards as well. But for the moment, we're chasing this Sanguine Bounty. So we do have 1 point here, and by putting that point in, we expose another epic. So Epic Collector. Enemies have a 3% chance to drop an epic candy when killed. Epic candies grant a huge amount of experience. So again, experience are going to drive more talent points. Talent points let you flush this tree out. So this is one we definitely want to go for. It also has a damage up here as well. And then another enchanted weapon. So this one is probably a route, the game definitely pushes you towards, having to make decisions, which way do you want to go? It seems simple, but it exposes enough cookies out here that you're like, oh, I really want to go grab that one. But uh, we've got these guys to work towards over here. So it's kind of cool that it does that. So at the moment, I just have 1 point left. You can keep the talent point if you want, or you can spend it. It doesn't go to 0 if you don't spend it. There's actually some things in the tree that thrive off of you keeping talent points in the bucket. So it is a 1 point skill, so we're going to take it. We've got 0 here, and I think we're good to go. Yeah. Our stats real quick. We ended up with another 0.5 knockback. Yeah, experience multiplier starting to creep up. All right, next night. I'm going to try and lay another trap down. I like kind of firing just to judge distance, but sometimes it gets me into trouble here. So we did get a gumball there, so the gumball is going to increase our attack speed. That's nice to see. What I'm going to start doing is I'm probably just going to put the frost traps on the sides, and you can stack them up. Unfortunately, I don't have an ability to regenerate these energy points yet, so we're going to work towards that one. But I think I'm going to try and start stacking up the frost traps on the side, just 2 sides. That's what I found is it's kind of a little more effective if you try and build up your defenses from the static defenses on just 1 or 2 lanes, maybe 3 lanes, and then really focus on killing everything else elsewhere. So that one we did do pretty good. We strung everything together. We took no damage, so we got the maximum XP in that run. So night 8's down, we get 5 talent points. Enemies will now spawn 10% more frequently. So just more and more enemies coming at us. Here, we probably do want to go and snag these, but let's see. There was no damage over here, right? No. All right, so let's work up towards that damage. We'll grab this rare, we'll grab the damage, and we can get to the energy collector. That's a really strong, powerful move for us there. This is really nice too. Another one of these sanguine bounties. Being able to restore our health points is extremely effective. And then we the blast quiver. Your basic attacks have a 10% chance to explode, dealing 50% of your attack damage to surrounding enemies. That's a yes, please as well. For the moment, let's work towards this because we're only 3 points away from that. We're not actually that far away from this either. We're 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe rethinking this a bit because we exposed the damage. We got this. Not all that interested in this, but I am interested in moving towards up that purple. But at the moment, let's see if we can get that blast quiver lined up. So we need 1, 2, 3 from the next run, and we're good to go. Shrink this. Okay. So next night here, I'm going to fire this way and put out another frost trap. So you see you're not limited at the frost traps that can be in a lane. You're not able to necessarily place them, exactly where you want them. Unless I'm missing something. I don't think you can. So I kind of want to lay down the frost traps and just have these lanes be, well, I ended up losing one there. It just happens, you get certain things you need to handle. So I'm out of points to spend on the frost traps. Let's see if I can speed up here and just kind of keep these guys away from what I did. I've got 1 extra frost trap at the moment. Now there's an energy. So you see now I can start collecting energy and, laying down more traps hopefully as we get better and better. So 6 talent points. That's the most we've gotten in one part of the run. Fortitude, enemies have 25% more health. That really starts to mess things up because now what died from 1 arrow, I might need 2 arrows. But I have increased my damage, so maybe we keep killing some stuff with that effect. So here, let's go up and get this blast quiver. And I like that it opened this up as well. I don't see anything else over here. See any damage. These are knockbacks. So I think we're kind of done going up here. The blast quiver is definitely worth it. Getting that chance to have an exploding arrow is quite good. Now, I did get 3 points, so I can go up and snag this sanguine bounty as well. It looks like I got 1, 2, 3. So expose more of this pathway here. Again, not too excited about this. I'd really like to kind of know if this continues on. You don't know for sure if it goes this way. I assume it does. So if I can, I'd probably want to start working my way over here next time. This lollipop is something I think is quite good. So we got gumballs working for us. We got another ability that helps heal us. And then we also have this blast quiver, which gives us percentages for exploding arrows. So now you can see we're starting to get kind of a build together. We have the ability to heal ourselves. We're getting charges. We're getting gumballs. We're exploding arrows. We have 2 abilities here. So it's interesting. It starts to get kind of cool. I'm going to throw another trap down here. So my goal here is to maybe try and keep 4 of the traps alive. We can lay down 15 traps at a time. These little rats being able to kind of work their way closer with this cloud, it really complicates. Oh man, I'm losing my frost traps. All right, let's just keep throwing them down, I guess. Set goals, and I'm already behind the 8 ball there. That's all right. Let's go faster, see if we can eliminate some of these guys in a little bit. I just did this little cloud thing. That little extra safe movement for them really complicates your ability to, defend the traps a little bit. The traps are supposed to kind of cause defense for you, but you end up kind of defending them because you want to use them when it's, I should have laid another trap down. So here we got 5 talent points, not as much as last time. I think we maybe it starts getting harder to get through these levels. Skelebobs will now appear. So now we're going to start seeing a new monster come in as well. Enemies will now spawn 10% more frequently. Again, more enemies, different enemies, layers of complexity for us to deal with. So let's continue here. We have 5 points. And we really didn't have a defined pathway. So I think we're going to go up this way and see what we can expose here. So we do see this branching off this way. This is kind of the way we want to go. I really don't want to pick up this shrink ray. Crit, okay, that's good. And then you saw when we did that, you saw that little level up here, or little exposure here. So now we can go look at what we exposed up here. So now we have an arc reactor. Now this is a legendary ability. It costs 3. The ability in your first slot gains unlimited charges. So you still are bound by the refresh, but you can just keep using it with no battery power. That's really quite nice. We also exposed another sanguine bounty, which heals us some more, and another damage up. This is absolutely the way we want to go here. So let's start making our way that way. We do pick up another rare along the way, and we do see the pathway exposed. That is excellent. So we get Spark Quiver, so your attacks have an 8% chance to fire another attack in the same direction. So that is excellent. So we start firing additional arrows. Those arrows can explode. You see I can start to get a build going here as you move along. Now here's interesting because we have this damage up, but this lollipop is so good, I'm just going to work our way towards that. So at 0 talent points, I'm going to take a pause here just for a second. All right. So this game also is obviously taking a lot longer. I think we're almost 40 minutes into the video. The game runs a lot faster. I'm talking, explaining things. As you're playing, you're going to get through a run much faster than this. So we're halfway through this run here. We need to get to 20. So we're going to go to. We've spent all of our talent points. We're going to go to the next one. So here I'm going to lay down another frost trap once it activates. Gumball right off the bat. That's really nice because then we start firing faster. Putting out another trap. Unfortunately, one of our traps already blew up. We did get a charge counter down there. I like that. Now these are the skelebobs. So you see it turned into this little turned into this little skeleton. If you don't kill that, it kind of resurrects itself and comes at you again. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to get to that one. I'm going to go ahead and put frost trap down here too, just kind of to kill, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm losing my little trap, defense mechanisms here, unfortunately. But this is what happens in the game. It's you really, as long as you don't take damage, that's really the main goal. That streak of 74 gets us more experience points, gets us more talent points, and lets us, keep that build alive. So 5 talent points, enemies receive 10% less knockback. Knights now feel 5 seconds longer. So again, now the knights are going to get longer and longer and longer. And you also see the track turned a little red or something there. That means, we're in a more difficult portion of our run. All right, so let's shrink this down. We did want to keep working towards this epic. We can buy it, right? Yeah. Yeah, so for 2 points, enemies have a 3% chance to drop an epic candy when killed, giving us more experience points. Perfect. Now, this is really, really, really good, but the damage up is just is immense. It's only 1 point, but it affects abilities, and every time we shoot. Brutal bounty over here, killing 15 enemies grants 3 bonus attack damage for 5 seconds. That's, we've already had one of those. But let's grab this damage, and then we expose another damage up over here. And then we're probably going to work towards, this energy collector is awesome. So let's say we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we get 5, we can get this arc reactor rolling, and then we can just constantly refresh this every 10 seconds. That's really nice. Just being able to get that, get that 7, 7 attacks? Yeah. So get that 7 attacks, boom, 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 boom. And then every 10 seconds, we kind of have a little machine gun effect going. All right, next night. So here, let's go there. Yeah, I'd really like some additional range on this as well. So there's a lollipop. That's really nice. I'll throw one down there. Just a little more range, I can start killing these guys farther away and start building up more frost traps. They're just don't have the range yet. And sometimes you get a lot of range impacting talents as you're on the talent tree. This one we haven't really taken too many. So I'm out of enough energy. If I get another energy, I think I can lay down another trap. Ooh, I see these exploding arrows doing some work here. Ooh, almost. Yeah, I would have liked to have saved that energy for another trap, but it wasn't to be. So here we did get 6 talent points. That's really good. Specialization, enemies have 5% increased chance to be an elite. So elites are tough. However, I believe they're tougher when you kill them, you get more experience. So they're kind of good. Knights now feel 5 seconds longer. So we've got 2 nights in a row where the nights are now longer. So let's continue. We got 6 points to spend. Like I said, we're definitely going up here. So this is 1, 2. We do get a rare here. Attack speed is increased by 20% for 2 seconds after using an ability. And then this is going to let us just chain use our quick fire. I still think, yeah, we're still at 10 seconds, delay, but really, really kind of cool. So 0 points to spend, probably going up for this energy collector. Having the ability to just generate more energy is quite good. So we're probably going for that. Seeing else what we can expose. Didn't expose any more of the tree. Can always zoom out and see if something sneaky appeared. Doesn't look like it. Sometimes you miss something, like it's down here and you don't get to see the little pointer. Quite liking the way this is going so far. So let's go next night. I'm going to try and throw another frost trap down there. Yeah, hopefully, again, my keyboard's not too loud Ooh, got a lollipops. Ooh, yeah, that's really nice getting all these lollipops right here. Yeah, I probably need to invest in a quiet keyboard as well if I'm going to play this game. But hopefully it's not too annoying, and maybe my mic isn't even picking it up, and I'm worried about it a little too much. But I know folks, in my earlier videos, my sound wasn't great. I know it's not like professional sound at the moment, but using some of our frost traps again. I need to understand I can hit that number one power as many times as I need. Okay, not terrible. We did get another energy, so maybe we can throw another frost trap down. Another energy there is nice. I'm going to just keep using that number one ability as much as I can. Helps me fire a lot faster. Okay, not terrible. I just missed putting down that next frost trap as well. So 6 talent points, that's really good. Enemies have 25% more health. Enemies receive 10% less knockback. So this is why I keep saying, that damage up is really good, because the enemies just continue to get more and more health. So here we're good there. I think we're going to go ahead and work towards this energy collector, just being able to lay more traps down. Now this one is a new ability, Stim Pack. Give yourself a boost, fully restoring your health points and granting 1 attack damage until the end of the night. Now, the health points is really good, but granting that extra attack damage is really, really good. And this one also has a damage up exposed nearby. This is probably one I'm going to be working towards. Let's see, there was a damage up over here. It's a long way to go, though. I think we'd have to go up and back down and around to get it. So this is probably off limits at the moment. Nothing really up here. So for the moment, let's start working our way this way. We do have a Sanguine Bounty exposed over here. This is another crit up, another attack speed up. And we talked about range anyways. This is increase a crit chance after ability use. So these after ability use these rare abilities are quite good for us now, because we can just spam this quick fire and have these active quite a lot of the time. So let's grab the range, because I do want to circle around and get this Sanguine. Looks like we did expose another epic up here, which is the One Ring. Gain 1 of every common talent. So this ring is really quite good. And what it does is basically every single one of these little guys here, all the different ones that you see on the tree, when you get this, you get 1 of each of them. So all of your stats basically go up, which is, again, really nice. Another damage up, essentially up here. Now this one here, Hail of Arrows, this one's a really good ability too. We expose that. Yeah, we're definitely working our way this way. These are probably our next 2 abilities. The Stim Pack is quite good. So I definitely want to use that. And these Hail of Arrows is your next two basic attacks fire in every direction. Really, really good. I do enjoy that quite a bit. Let's see. So 0 talent points. We are good to go to next night. And we may or may not find our way to having enough, talent points to get to those too. We might get through this 20-night span before we get over there. But you kind of work your way towards them and see how things go. So still laying down traps. I did pick up some extra energy. I thought energy was exposed somewhere, but I don't see it offhand. Maybe I'm just not seeing it. Maybe there's also something in the settings that allows you to expose it, and it's something that is typically something that's not generally seen. Okay, we're doing okay here. That trap that I had put down below, it was just too far out. You see, we're also getting a lot more energy coming at us. So as we're killing these monsters, we're getting energy refreshes from the little collectors. And that's allowing us to, keep putting down traps. Now the traps, I am looking to accumulate them if I can. However, I'm very interested in just using them as blocking 2 lanes. So that way I can If I have to concentrate on the lane above and the lane below, I can do so without worries of something just coming at me from the sides. So 6 talent points, Dread, Knights feel 5 seconds longer. Again, enemy waves will now contain additional enemies. So what that does is it allows you to build more of a streak. So it sounds bad because more enemies are coming at you, which it's bad because you got to take care of them, but it allows that streak to build more. And we're probably going to start seeing a night where we end up with 7 talent points at some point, especially with this lollipop here. If we get a night where there's a lot of the lollipops, we'll be able to level up even more. So we're working our way over here. Let's grab the Sanguine bounty since we're there. We do have another Brutal bounty over here, and we've got a damage up over here. There is a damage up along the way. It really looks like this is the way to go. We did expose a blast quiver. Again, really, really good. You know, having a 20% ability because these stack on each other. We already have it once. Having a 20% ability to make that happen is quite nice. Yeah, this is definitely the way to go. We'll probably work our way up here to get this damage up potentially, but with that, I think we're going to take the range here, look to get the stim pack active next time, and then look to get Hail of Arrows. That Hail of Arrows is going to be really nice. Again, you know, firing in every direction with this character is quite good. 0 talent points. We're at level 70. We have 60 health, and we're on night 15. Let's go. I'm going to place that there. Yeah, now we're out where our range is quite nice. Just getting that little bit of extra range lets you fire much farther on the sides here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and use my number 1 ability. I need to remember to use that constantly. Yeah, just let you kind of get that machine gun effect going. Hopefully I'm going to be able to kind of build up a little repertoire of these frost traps. It looks like we're not doing too bad. So now you're starting to see a much larger variety of these, monsters coming at us, and they're larger. They're starting to have shields. You saw that one had a little bubble around it. That's a shielded enemy. The different colors mean different things too. So as you see these skeletons coming with different colors, they've got kind of that metallic. They have some additional abilities that I don't remember what they are. You can look in the compendium that is on the start page, and that will give you an idea what that is. Okay, so now we have the speed active in the beginning, which is good. Turn my phone down there. Sorry about that. All right, 8 talent points. Like I said, getting more monsters coming at you gives you more opportunities for experience points. So I thought we were going to get to 7 talent points, but got to 8. Now we do have a lot of abilities that give us the extra experience up. So we're at 120%. The lollipops generate, the gumballs generate. Those are all experience generators. So getting 8 talent points here is amazing. Very, very good. So now Trunks will appear. And you'll learn these monsters as you go along. We're going into night 16. Enemy waves will now contain an additional enemy. So even more enemies coming at us. Now, one thing I do want to do is I like having this in the ability number 4 slot. I don't think we can, we can drag these, so I'm not going to care about it. I think before that wasn't a thing that you could do when I played long time ago. So stim pack, I'm going to put that in slot 4 right now because I just like it being there. It's something you're just going to hit every once in a while. You hit it, when you take the stim pack, you want to hit it right away once your run starts, because you get this and granting 1 attack damage until the end of the night. It's an ability you can usually use it 2, maybe 3 times during the night, but it makes you do more damage as you go along here. It's really quite nice. I think we're going to go up this way. This damage up is very, very good. We have 6 points to work with. Let's see what we expose down here. Crit up. 3-hit mechanic. Every 3rd attack has double attack damage. Wow. We might end up going down there too, but I do want to get this Hail of Arrows first. Oh man, we got the ring there. I don't know if you can take these twice now. It's been, there's, like I said, the developer's extremely active. They might not be so much anymore, but I do see updates coming out for this game. And so it continues to exist and be maintained quite nicely. Let's increase range. Let's get attack speed up. Let's see, crit. Okay, so I can't really get to this one at this moment. But let's go ahead and expose it and see what we expose over here. Enchanted weapon, hail of arrows. We got a damage up that's only, 3 away there. That's pretty nice. We might start working our way. I only have 1 talent point left, so we might start working our way down this way to get either this or work our way up here to get the 1 ring. This is really nice, but it's pretty far away. But we do have multiple damages up along the way, so we're probably heading this route. Yeah, these damage just convinced me to keep going this way. Hopefully we can get through without going this way, though. It looks like we might have a pathway here. So there's pathways pointing this way. But you never know, it might only connect here. Okay, we got 1 talent point. We're going to save it for the next run. So next night, again, yeah. So when you save a talent point, you continue, it saves it. So when this is active, I'm definitely going to hit like I said, going to hit that stim pack right off the way. I'm going to expose that. Let's get a machine gun effect here and kill some stuff off. I'm going to start laying some traps down below. We can have 15 of them. So just have kind of like an emergency trap sitting there. We're starting to kind of feel the pressure with these monsters. So the trunks are these big trees here that we're seeing. Definitely a lot harder as far as the run's concerned. You got these 4 lanes to manage, and there's a lot to manage here. So we can do the stim pack again. Again, we didn't need it for healing, but now we're going to do more damage. So hopefully a lot less arrows to kill things. So we lost our 1 protective frost down below. That's okay. Let's go faster. Let's put it back. Trying to build up these frost traps a little bit in other lanes, but it doesn't seem to be working that great. Let's kill these guys. Come on. All right, so now we're out of energy, essentially. I activated the stim pack again. Now we're killing some of the things that were taking 2 shots, I can tell. We did get enough energy to throw down another trap, and that's the end of that one. So we managed to string together 157 kills without taking any damage, and as you see, 11 talent points. Most we've had so far was 8, so 11 is very good. Enemies have 5% increased chance to be an elite. Enemies will now spawn 10% more frequently. So it's just going to have more and more stuff coming at us. So we need to kind of figure out ways to mitigate that, and ways to mitigate that is to have abilities. So we got the hail of arrows there. So that's a new piece to our repertoire. And then I'm going to go up and snag this damage up over here. And yes, so this will go through. Another energy collector, another quiver. We are absolutely on the right path. Even if I get to the ring here, I can't get it this turn. So I'm going to go grab the energy collector. We expose another enchanted weapon and another gumball collector. But this quiver is really kind of where we want to go towards, I think. This 1 ring and this quiver is the route I want to take. I don't see any extra damage there. We collected this damage up and this damage up. We got an attack speed and a range. Pretty good. So next round, in the next night, getting to this 1 ring is super important. So if we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it should be very easy considering we just got 11. And honestly, with the amount we're getting, snagging this damage up down here isn't out of the way at this point. All right, now let's take a look far real quick. We did have that exposed. Nothing really extra exposed on the edges that we missed. So I think we're good there. You see, we did travel quite a bit, That's pretty cool. So let's zoom back in, and then we've got 0 points. We have 60 health. We're level 88. Oh, we have all 4 talents now. We'll get to play around with arrow as well. Probably not going to use it a lot, just because I want to save energy to lay down traps. The traps are a really, really nice way to mitigate having just tons of stuff being thrown at you. Oh, I forgot to hit the stim pack. Now you see some of these shielded enemies. So the purples are the shields. Let's do that. So you saw the little hail of arrows. My frost traps are getting eaten up. Things are just going a lot faster now. So I need the machine gun effects. Also, the machine gun effect will affect the hail of arrows. So as I am in that hail of arrow bonus, if I hit the machine gun, it kind of counts towards that. Yeah, I definitely need to be using that hail of arrows as well. Hopefully I can avoid taking damage here. Oh no, it's so tough. There's so many things coming at you. But let's put out some frost traps. I just need to rely on them at the moment. The problem with relying on them is it sets you up for failures in your upcoming runs because you don't have that crutch, where you don't have the ability to, rely on some things dying when they come towards you and hitting those traps. But we did okay. So this is the first time getting over 160 kills in a row. So we should get, 9 talent points isn't terrible. I didn't get hit. It's just, some of these experience levels seem to need more. So now we're down to 9. That's still okay. That's very doable for us. Enemies receive 10% less knockback. Enemies have 25% more health. That fortitude is really tough because you start having to hit things 2-3 times. It's very annoying. We did work towards the 1 ring. So what you're going to see here is our stats are all just going to increase. So every single one of these stats increase. It's very, very nice, just flat bonus to your character. For 1 more, we get this increased crit chance. We expose another damage up over here. We did say we wanted to get the blast quiver, so we've got that. Now we have a 30% chance for each of our basic attacks to do the exploding damage. So this damage up over here and a brutal bounty to heal ourselves. We haven't taken any damage yet, which is quite good. We have a damage up over here. Now, you do see, so something to note here is we took this hail of arrows, and we had another hail of arrows exposed over here. It actually turned into a rare skill. So that's something to note is you can't take these twice. I was wondering, with all the development that's occurred, if something had occurred where you can take level ups on these skills. Not the case, but it doesn't, the game doesn't actively work against you in this tree. It turned it into a rare ability, which is something that's useful. So that's kind of cool to note, that they have these, things built into the game this way. We have a damage up over here. I think we're going to go ahead and go for that one just because it's right there. And we can get it right now. We have a brutal bounty and a brutal bounty. Didn't really expose anything else from the looks of it. Gumball collector. Gumball collector is quite nice because start dropping more of those gumball candies. And then this damage up here is what? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we want to go get it, we need to figure out which path we want to go here. We can get it in 3 here with a range and an attack speed. I think that's probably viable there. And this brutal bounty over here, we can snag it. So there's some things going on here. Other thing to note, we've got 18, 19, and 20. We've got a few more nights. So we need to figure out if we want to snag this guy here. That would be quite good. So 1, 2, 3. We might want to start pushing down here and just give up on some of these rares. Need to get the 1 ring. I think we're going to start pushing down here. This is really, really good because this pairs well with how we've built this build out in that having this extra speed every 7 attacks. So, we get 7 attacks at an extra increased attack speed, and this gives us 1 every 3rd attack. So every time we push this, we're just getting more and more attacks downstream, and we're doing more and more damage. 28 damage, quite good. So let's start working that way and see what we can expose. Unfortunately, I think we're not going the right way. So I put a point here, but I think I need to come down and around here. I might put another one out here to see if it loops around, but it doesn't look like it has a road here. Does it? Oh, maybe. I see a little bit of it here. Okay, we might be okay. Yeah. This looks like it does have a road. Originally, I didn't think so. So it's important to kind of, it's weird, like with this fog of war thing, you kind of got to look really, really close and see if you can see it. All right, next night we got 0 talent. We're at 60 health. We're at 97. We did gain some pretty cool updates. I'm going to keep it focused over here so we know to go down here and see what we can get out of this next night. Lay down a trap, hit the stim pack, and let's get our speed going. Put a trap down there. All right, speed again. Kind of just let you machine gun down away. The lane is pretty nice. I'm going to throw another trap there. All right, so I've come from all 4. I'm going to take the hail of arrows and see if I can just eliminate some stuff. Another trap down below. So now I'm not actively seeking to, keep 3 lanes blocked by the traps. However, it seems like I'm able to make it work here. So it is not working anymore though. It gets harder with these bigger enemies. They're much harder to kill. So that's all right. You might be able to lay down another trap before the end of the night here. Yeah. We're still a little ways away from the end. You see we're already at our maximum here. Some traps over there. It is what it is. We can lay down another trap. We did. We managed to get one more. Okay. So we didn't take any damage again. So we got maximum experience. We got 9 talent points. Enemies have 10% more movement, and enemies will now contain an additional enemy. Okay. Now I think we're okay moving down here. And yes, so there is a way to progress. Let's move down here, and then we got charmed weapon. Now we need to make a decision. Do we want health, experience, or crit, attack speed, range? I think crit, attack speed, range. Awesome to have a damage up over here too. So let's go with this. Every 3rd attack now has double damage. Expose the gumball collector and a damage up. We have no more talent points left, but that damage up and also this blast quiver is quite good. So this was a really good move for us. We are in night 19. Let's go. I'm going to put a frost over here. Also, you'll see those larger arrows are the ones that are doing that extra damage there. So you see them, those are the ones that are looking to do the double damages. Stem pack, this one, okay. Just got to get everything kind of lined up here. So I lost my trap down there. Let's throw that down again. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the all 4. At this point, we're getting energy collected at quite a good rate. So I don't feel like I'm time bound anymore, or I don't feel like I'm very limited by the amount of energy. Although things are getting way too close. I'm laying these traps down and they're sneaking in. These rats are really the main problem here. They go into this, cloud mode, and they just make it just enough to when they come out of the cloud, they're activating the trap there. So it's a little difficult to lay more of the traps down there. Whereas another one that snuck too far. Okay. See if we can get another stem up. Yeah. All right. So again, I didn't take any damage. It did good there. Bulk enemies receive 10% less knockback. Enemies will now spawn 10% more frequently. So again, just making the enemies tougher. We survived 19. I think we need to survive through this next night and we actually get through our first run. So seeing a successful run right off the bat is quite nice. So we said we want to pick this damage up. We've got this gumball collector. I'm going to take range up over the crit and grab the gumball collector. And let's see here. We've got Spark Quiver exposed. So we have 6 points. I think this is our last chance to get things. So this is attack speed, range up, blast quiver. I think I'm going to take that because just having that ability to do, 3 more points. 1, 2, 3. We can't make it to the Spark Quiver over here. 1, 2, 3. We can't make it to the Spark Quiver either. So 3 points left. Let's see here. Well, with 3 points, we can make it to this charmed weapon. I think this is our last night, so we could make it here. There's no more damage ups there. Oh, there was a damage up that we can work towards here in the middle, right? Which was 1, 2, 3. We could go for that. That's attack speed and range. That's not terrible. I think that might be the play here. I don't see any other ones anywhere. We snagged that one. We have Brutal Bounty. That might be the play, is just kind of increase range, increase attack speed, and damage up. Let's go with that. We got that. So we are 115 level. We have all of our abilities here. We have some pretty decent epics. You can always review things here. We're at 80 health, so we were doing pretty good there. All right, let's go next night. Let's lay down another trap over here, I think, and get the stim pack going. I've been forgetting about the stim pack, so I definitely want to remember to kind of hit that when I can. Let's get a trap out here. Really, this point, I'm just not really looking to layer traps anymore. I'm looking to use them as an ability to, just kill monsters at this point. Because we don't have another night, I don't believe. I think this is the last night. If I recall, that's how it works. But again, I'm not going to guarantee that that's the case. Don't take damage. I want to get through a whole run with no damage. Come on, come on, come on. Let's go, go, go. Okay, that hail of arrows really helped us there because I was in trouble. Now we have no traps on that direction anymore. One trap over here. Oh, it's going to be tough to not take damage. Come on, come on. Oh, I took damage. Darn it. Oh well. I hopefully will survive this night, but I did end up taking damage. So I can't say I went through the whole first run undamaged, but I was close. Now, when you take damage, I think I was up high enough that I wasn't in a place where I go back to 0. So you see I'm still tracking in the 130s here for the bonus. I think it knocks you down 100. So, I've got that going. Oh, man. Okay, I think it's starting to calm down. Towards the dead end of the night here. I've got traps in every direction. I feel a little more confident about making it through. I was a little concerned there for a moment, but I do have the ability to heal myself. We've just never used it other than this particular run. So that, you see we're at full health. Having the ability to, heal yourself for every 15 enemies that you've killed is quite good. And it looks like that's the end. Yes. So victory. You are truly talented. So mastery 0 survived. Now, when you're playing the game, you go through these mastery levels, and the mastery levels unlock certain things for your character. So choose a talent package that will appear in your future runs. So this is how you can start to shape your builds. What appears in your build tree is shaped through these particular talent packages. So straight through, pierce through enemies and get bonuses when you do. That sounds kind of cool. Charged up, tons of ability charges. So you saw how ability charges were limiting in the beginning. I can only do so many things. But this charged up package allows you to get far more ability charges. So that's kind of cool. Minefield, upgrade your traps. Now I like the traps, I like the charges, I like the piercing. I think I'm gonna go with the charges because that's just a nice general bonus. You eventually get a lot of those. So it's more of what do you want to use right now? Mastery level 1 unlocked, bonus mastery level 2 unlocked, and the wizard class is unlocked. Let's go back to the main menu, I believe. Yeah. Overview statistics, so we can look at, how we did on particular things if we wanted to. Back to the main menu here. Let's take a look real quick at the wizard. So we do have the archer. Now you'll see with the archer, with the wizard, it says level 1 of 15, mastery 0. With the archer, we've actually completed the mastery 0, and now we're looking to run level 2. I'm not sure what the waves in standard means. I think the waves mean it just keeps going endless, but I haven't played the game with this active. But exposing the wizard, let's read through that. Uses powerful spells to decimate enemies. Basic attacks can be weak. Enemies cost magic points, or abilities cost magic points. Magic points regenerate over time. So the wizard's unique in that he doesn't work off of energy. So I have to get these charges back through batteries and finding things and doing different things. The wizard just regenerates mana and is able to use its powers, more often. And there are things on this tree that will affect mana, if I remember right. Cool. Well, it's a cool first run. Hope everybody enjoyed it. This game is super cheap. I think when I bought it, it was $1. So it is probably one of the best dollars I've ever spent on a game. For a $1 investment, I think I got in when there was just 3 of the characters active. And then I did buy the Wave of Shadows, which added the ninja, who I've never played. Maybe we'll do the wizard or the ninja next and just see, what's there. But for $1, it was awesome. I think it's maybe $3 to $5 now. I don't recall. But check Steam out if this looked interesting. It looks very simple, but it's super, super deep. There are other zones now. That plus zone that we were playing on, they added more zones, and I assume they're going to keep adding more. Very active Discord, very active developers. You can check the page to see that. Go to the store page and take a look. The store page is extremely active. It's a very fun game. It's also something that's, you can pause it, walk away, come back to it. It's no big deal. You do have to finish a run. I don't think you can stop a run part way. I can't recall if you can, but there's ability to just pause, walk away, come back. No big deal. So a lot of fun. Well, I hope everybody liked this. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, dislike if you didn't like it. And I hope everyone's having a great day. Take care.